The 2016 presidential election is the most important election in the history of the United States, and I'm going to tell you why. We've said that phrase a lot of times in other elections, and they were the most important for their time and from that historic point forward. The reason that this year's presidential election is the most important history is, number one, we have a candidate who is the first open anti-Second Amendment candidate of all time. Openly says that guns need to be restricted, has called for Australian-style gun bans, and obviously her husband imposed a ban on automatic, semi-automatic rifles, 30-round magazines, etc., etc. A huge reason this is an important election is the next president will nominate one Supreme Court justice, absolutely for sure. It's looking more like 3+, potentially 3+. Let it sink in for just a minute what kind of Supreme Court justices Hillary Clinton would nominate. Think about that. And let's look at the fact that Judge Scalia, who passed away earlier this year, saved the Second Amendment. The vote was 5-4, and he was that number 5 vote. He was the tiebreak. So the next president's going to appoint one Supreme Court justice to replace Scalia. If it's a liberal, kiss the Second Amendment goodbye, especially if they get to appoint 2, maybe 3. And here's the big issue with that, guys. I used to look at it like this, like, I don't care what they say. If they outlawed guns tomorrow, I'm still going to carry, etc., etc. While that may be true with many of us, once the precedent is set, once they use emotion, and the media hypes it up that we need more gun control, and they prey on emotion to get inside the Second Amendment, that sets a precedent. And we know how law works, we know how judges work in courts. They always look back and they want to find a precedent that was set previously for that type of a case. So once the Second Amendment is tampered with, what do you think that does to the other 9 rights within the Bill of Rights? Does the Fourth Amendment come into play? Can police officers, and I love police officers, I support them fully, but could they come to your house and kick down your front door for any reason without a warrant? Would you be forced to incriminate yourself and not be able to plead the Fifth? On and on. Once you let these people in to start tampering with your rights, the government doesn't know how to stop. Everything they touch falls apart and fails. We have to stick together and make sure that that doesn't happen, guys, all right? Now, we look at the NRA, and they have done a great job, and they are very powerful, obviously very powerful in what they do, and I encourage you to join if you haven't already. But at the grassroots level, down where we are, guys, I gotta be honest, I'm disappointed. You look at YouTube and Facebook and different social media outlets, and the gun community is fractured. It's broken and it's a mess. The caliber wars. I mean, guys will just about beat each other to death over 9 versus 45 and 40. Shotgun slugs versus double-aught buck for home defense. ARs versus shotgun for home defense, and 223 versus 556, and on and on. It's mind-blowing. To hear the shallow immaturity within the gun community. And of all people, we as Second Amendment lovers, and understanding that, what a sacred, right we have that God gave us to protect our own life. The Founding Fathers put in place, the Constitution to protect those. And yet so many people act like 6-year-old kids that had their favorite toy taken away. Guys, grow up. I put out a 6-hour P320 versus Glock 19 video. People didn't bother to read the description or understand from my other videos that I had shot the SIG P320 before, and I owned one, and actually shot it really well. And I pulled this gun out of the box just recently, and I put it up against a Glock 19 head-to-head, a gun that I'd shot weekly for 7 months. The SIG I had not shot in 7 months. I shot it every bit as good and better than the Glock 19. So I said, for me, the SIG P320 was a perfect gun. Yet by the comments, the downvotes, you would think that I called people's mothers bad names, and I didn't even let all the comments on. As a matter of fact, I cut all the comments, which while I'm on that really quick, the way that I'm going to run my channel from now on, I've made this decision. I'm probably not going to allow comments on most of my videos, and I'll tell you why. I believe in freedom of speech and all. It's fine. And most of the comments are positive and good. And thank you guys who have been supportive and exchanged good information and have been awesome on YouTube. I appreciate you guys, and you know who you are. But I'm not going to allow comments on. I'll tell you why. It opens up a can of worms and a dialect that lends itself to flame wars and hatred and vitriol that I'm just not interested in seeing. You know, if you can watch the videos and take something good away from it, cool. You know, if not, downvote it and leave. I don't care. But what I'm going to do, if anybody submits hateful type comments, you know, and your shooting sucks and your technique's bad and whatever, I'm going to remove the comment as I review it, and I'm going to block that person because they clearly don't understand respect, constructive criticism, and what it means to really help the gun community grow and offer something positive to the video instead of just coming in, downvoting and saying you're a terrible shot, bye. You're a terrible shot, the Glock's better, it's the best gun in the world and everything else is terrible. You know, the idiocy, the immaturity blows me away. And we have to be better, guys. We have to be better. My wife had a Glock 42 for a short period of time. I put that video online of her first shots with it, and if you watch the beginning of the video, it's clearly stated by me that my wife came from a culture of fear about guns and a lack of understanding, and not a healthy respect, but a fear. So we put her first shots up with the Glock 42, and instead of people offering encouragement, they downvoted it. And it's like, really? I mean, we have a woman who had this inner turmoil back and forth and finally makes that decision. You know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. And is brave enough to go to the range and shoot it, even though she was scared and was tense and tight, and you could see it in the shooting. But she did very well for her first time. And somebody downvotes it. And it's disheartening. It doesn't hurt feelings, but it's disheartening. It's like, really? This is a lady that's coming into the concealed carry realm brand new, and that's all you've got to offer is downvote? I mean, you're an idiot. And I don't want you on my channel anymore, ever. And that's why if you offer that kind of idiocy on my channel from now on, like I said, I'm going to remove the comment and I'm going to block you. And guys, I encourage you, if you have a gun channel, block these idiots. Don't let them comment, because I realize that controversy, I used to promote mixed martial arts, and I understand that a little controversy, a little trash talk back and forth promotes, and it builds a brand of advertisement. And you know, they say any advertisement is good advertisement. I disagree in the gun community. I think we have a responsibility as gun carriers, you know, and Second Amendment lovers to be better and to be different. And it is past time to grow up and get past this childish, foolish infighting about calibers, gun choices. I mean, it's a choice. And if I choose a SIG over a Glock, grow up, get over it, or get off my channel. I don't want you, all right? Period. That's all there is to it. Guys, we got to win this fight. The NRA is doing a great job, like I said before, but we have to win the fight right here, all right? This kind of exchange is good. We've got to grow the base, and we've got to get stronger, and we have to vote the right way and do our research. And guys, we've got to do it. You know, we've got to win this fight, and we've got to win in November. You know, your rights depend on it. The future of the United States of America depends on it.